Hey fam, I hope everybody is doing okay during these very interesting times. I know this is really hard for a lot of people, and the experience right now is still surreal for people who may not be directly affected. But it is affecting everybody in one way or another, and I'm referring to the COVID-19 pandemic, in case somebody watches this years from now. But it is an interesting time, and I think that those who aren't deeply affected by it or severely affected by it yet don't realize the impact that it is having on those people though that are more directly impacted by it. And so I think this is our chance to really show our compassion for those that are facing a lot tougher situations than a lot of us. Like right now, I'm not working. My partner is still finding ways to keep working. We're still able to stay on top of our bills at the moment, but we don't know what is going to happen, a month from now, 2 months from now. We don't know. Like, we have to take it one day at a time and kind of like hope for the best, prepare for the worst. However, there are people that are just in the midst of this, and to them, this is, they're knee deep in stressful situations, and whether it be somebody that lost a loved one due to the coronavirus, people that are working in the hospitals working with the coronavirus. There's all sorts of situations that we need to consider that is going on outside of our environment, because right now we are in, we're in isolation, and we don't, the closest connection we have right now to what's going on in other parts of the world is media and social media. But let's try to look past that and understand that, like, it's very hard for us to connect. It's very hard for us to relate to things that are going on in other neighborhoods, in other cities, in other states, in other parts of the world, that are absolutely devastating, just absolutely devastating if you take a moment and think about it. Now, I'm not trying to be a downer here. I'm trying to help us realize the implications of what is really going on, to hopefully be appreciative of where you're at right now and what you have, and to extend your compassion to those who are putting themselves on the front lines, losing loved ones, having this just be complete devastation for other people in the world. And what got me thinking about this was Italy. Italy has been probably one of the most painful stories to follow regarding this pandemic, how rapidly that the coronavirus spread there, and how many people it has affected and taken the lives of. Seeing churches filled with caskets, hearing people singing from their homes together in unison. It really does make it feel surreal, like this is all a movie. But this is really happening. This is really happening in other parts of the country and other parts of the world. That it is very somber. It's a very somber situation for people. And so I really want you to consider all of those people that are being affected by this to the extreme. So let's take a moment and think about those in other areas and in other countries who have lost a loved one or multiple loved ones because of this. Think about all of those bodies that they have no place for to bury in some countries right now because they're so overwhelmed, that they don't have the infrastructure and the economy that we do to be able to withstand this and to take proper measures. Think about, again, the hospital workers, the ER workers, the first responders, to try to take care of this and manage this. And they are, again, knee deep in this. And something else I saw earlier today is not only consider the fact that when they go to work, they're exposed to this stuff. There is an overwhelming demand. There is not enough supplies in these atmospheres. And then also consider the fact that when they come home from their shift, if they do come home from their shift, because a lot of these workers are stuck there for maybe a week even, because of the shortage of staff and things, that when they do come home, they actually have to isolate themselves from their family in case they could end up carrying and passing on the virus. So that is in itself a couple of major things to consider of, who else is being greatly affected by this. Another one, again, is the retail and the grocery workers that are, they have a choice. They could work and, again, have no way of protecting themselves. And have to work longer hours now because of other staff choosing to not come into work or have to stay out of work because they've become ill. So the demand in the necessary areas of retail and grocery right now are struggling as well. So there is a lot of emotion and a lot of stress going on right now, above and beyond the illness itself. And so we can't just look at the coronavirus as just being an illness. We have to think of the other implications that it's causing on other people, the workers, the families. I also heard a story yesterday on the radio of an elderly couple who are currently in quarantine from getting off of a cruise ship. And in their quarantine, they're basically like in a hotel, and the demands of taking care of these people in quarantine are not able to be met because of the lack of staff. And this woman, I don't remember how old she is, but 70s, 80s, along with her husband, she has hearing aids that she takes out at night. He has diabetes, and they weren't getting the food, like especially apple juice. Apple juice was the key for keeping his diabetes in control. They weren't able to even get that. And there was one night in the middle of the night where he was calling her name, and needing her help, and she couldn't hear him because she didn't have her hearing aid in. And finally she realized something was wrong and found him having a diabetic attack, and she tried calling the emergency line of the hotel, the staff, and they couldn't help her. Nobody would answer, so she had to end up calling 911 for this. So the people that are being in massive quarantine aren't even getting the help that they need. So it's really sad to listen to that. It seems surreal, and it seems almost like a movie to the outside, but just imagine what it's like for those people who are in the midst of this, who have already gone through hell during this. So take this time to, again, appreciate what you have, and to give your thoughts and prayers or whatever you feel like you can give to these people. If there's ways to donate, if there's ways to give outreach, if there are ways that you can just send a message saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Do whatever you can at this time to reach out, because this isn't just affecting one place. This is affecting the whole entire world. I mean, take that seriously. Don't take that for granted, that we are all in this together. Literally, when people say we're all in this together, we are all in this together. There's not a single soul, probably, that's not affected by this in some way or form. So please, the next time you, perhaps sit there and do your normal routine, even if you're in quarantine, and you try not to take things for granted. Like even a hot shower. Don't take a hot shower for granted. Don't take the food that you have for granted. Don't take your toilet paper that you have for granted. You know, because there are people out there who are unfortunately less fortunate right now, and we need to be reaching out in any way we can, even if it is just taking that moment and putting our thoughts out there for them, and healing vibes or whatever you feel like you can do. It's all about intention, right? So it's important to tune into the whole world at this point in time, and to turn on your peripherals of the people that are needing support in one way or another. And there's plenty of people out there who they don't have any support at all, and they just have to keep going. So extend your love, extend your support in any way that you can right now. I love you all. Be safe, be smart, stay home, do whatever you need to do to protect yourself, to protect your family and loved ones, and to protect those that you don't even know that could be affected by this if you go outside and do unnecessary outings or shopping. So please take care. I love you all, and be safe.